May is Skin Cancer Awareness Month. The Skin Cancer Foundation says non-melanoma skin cancer is at truly epidemic proportions in America, with a 350% increase over the last 15 years. Today we're talking about skin cancer, the latest treatments, and how to prevent it. Dr. Mark Hammonds is a dermatologist with Scott & White Healthcare Round Rock. Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, we've seen all these prevention campaigns. You know, it seems like we're trying to get our kids away from the tanning beds, and you know, it still continues to rise, the incidence of skin cancer. Why do you think that is?
Well, it certainly has continued to rise, and thank you, first of all, for having me on today.
Thanks for being here.
I think this is an important message. You know, skin cancers have continued to rise despite all our efforts. 1 in 5 Americans now will be diagnosed with a skin cancer in their lifetime.
Wow. And
fortunately, melanoma is not the most common, but it does make up a high percentage, so 1 in 58 Americans will be diagnosed with melanoma at some point. Unfortunately, we're seeing a lot more in our youth, and it's becoming one of the fastest growing cancers in young women today. They are the fastest growing group of melanoma diagnoses.
Are we just not getting out there with the message enough, or?
Well, we do know that sun avoidance is important, but that message hasn't taken hold as well as we would like. Sun exposure practices have continued. You know, indoor tanning is
people still seem to enjoy that, you know, bronzed look.
Yeah, 1 million people tan a day in America, and so it continues despite our efforts.
We have some pictures. They may be a little bit graphic, so we're warning the viewers at home, but this is what you need to be looking out for. First, let's look at the various types of cancer that can appear on someone's skin. What are we looking at?
Sure. So these photos that you see right now, these are different melanomas that have been diagnosed. These are courtesy of the American Academy of Dermatology website, which you can go to for a lot of important information. But these are all forms of melanoma. In a minute, we can go over the features that we look for. Certainly. And then this is a basal cell carcinoma. This is the most common type of skin cancer. It makes up 80% of what we see.
So this isn't one of the most deadly forms right here. This is a basal cell.
Yeah, this is basal cell. Makes up about 80%. Generally, this will appear as a small bump on the skin, much like a pimple that doesn't go away, usually in sun-exposed areas such as the head, neck, arms, areas like that. What you see here is a squamous cell carcinoma, also a common form of skin cancer. Probably 10 to 15% of skin cancers are these. Usually starts as a scaly bump, sun-exposed areas again, such as the head, neck, shoulders. Then becomes thicker over time and tender. Both of these usually have symptoms: itching, bleeding, tenderness, and will prompt a visit to the dermatologist. This would be a melanoma, which is a skin cancer of a mole. There's no continuity between these 3 diagnoses. They're all completely separate.
Okay.
This melanoma, you know, it has features of an irregular mole. A regular mole should have regular borders. It should be a symmetric lesion. It should have all one color. This has multiple colors. You see brown and black, irregular jagged borders, and it looks a bit larger. And
the treatments for this, you know, I think the last story that I did was Mohs surgery, where it's kind of skin sparing.
Yeah.
You know, what are some of the latest treatments? Have there been many in the last few years?
Well, for melanoma, it's a surgical disease. Surgery is important. Generally, for an invasive melanoma, you just do surgery. You would want to check for any metastasis. At the point of metastasis, melanoma is difficult to treat, unfortunately. There are many treatments on the way, but there's no great cure at this time. So prevention, early detection is very important. As far as the other skin cancers, generally surgery. The less invasive, earlier treatable skin cancers treated with topical approaches such as topical medications. Some lasers are out there, but generally it's surgery as well.
Dr. Hammonds, thank you so much for being here.
No problem.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Be careful out there. Dr. Hammonds is from Scott & White Healthcare, Round Rock.